Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Today is going to be an experimental type of video. We're going to find out once and for all, not necessarily once and for all, but we're going to find out if all of these extra products that are sold to us really make a difference. So here's the premise for this video. I'm going to be applying a bunch of drugstore products to my face, the total of which is $70.50. On the other half of my face, I'm going to throw in a bunch of high-end products that promise to give subtle results. We've got a brow primer, a glitter primer, a primer, a lash primer, a lip primer, just to give you an example, and the total for all of those, all of which are high-end, is $323.50. So in the end of this, I will have a face, half of my face, that is worth $70, and then the other half, which is worth a grand total of $394. So this is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. It's supposed to give you a radiance and glow under your foundation. I've used a lot of this at this point. I do like it, but one thing I've found about this is that sometimes I see people use this primer and then follow with a full coverage foundation. I can honestly tell you guys that I've never understood that because it completely covers the effect. Am I being overly critical? If you enjoy that, that's wonderful, but I just don't personally understand using it with the full coverage foundation. So I guess this is going to be my high-end side. And on this side, I'm going to do the most heinous act a YouTuber could do and not use primer. I'm just kidding, a lot of people don't use primer. In my odd and out of order world, I do my brows at this step. So I'm going to use the Benefit Bravo Conditioning Primer on this side of my face. This retails for $28 and it conditions your brows. In all fairness, I thought this sounded gimmicky, but I actually kind of love it. The only thing that's a bit strange about this is I always get this so nasty. I guess because I get the primer that I just put on in it, but it really makes me think, wow, I'm a disgusting human. Then for both sides of my face, I'm using the Etude House Drawing Eyebrow Brow Pencil. This is $3.50. It's a Korean brand, but it is incredibly affordable and very pigmented. However, I do have a little bit of a gripe with this product, and that is that in spite of the fact that I have dry skin and I rarely have problems with wear time, I have not found this product to have the best wear time. But in terms of initial appearance, it looks exactly like using the Benefit Goof Proof pencil. It's got the slant and everything, the spoolie. It just, I personally have issues with the wear time. So then on this side of my face, I'm going to be using the, please don't laugh, the Benefit Highbrow Brow Highlighting Pencil. Mine is currently known as Only Brow. Needless to say, I do really like this product. I'm also applying Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer on this eyelid. I already did this just so I can move more quickly, but that is on this side. This retails for $20. Of course, it is an eyeshadow primer. And then for both sides, I gotta crack this open because this is actually new, but this is the Too Faced Not a Basic Peach. No, it's not. This is the Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach. These are the little $5 eyeshadow palettes. I wanted to get one that was a little bit more warm than the two that I have. I have Comfort Zone and Rosé in the Air. Just felt like, I felt like doing warm looks lately. I know. Way to be generic. But I'm channeling the energy of summer, okay? I passionately hate cold weather, and this is the time of year where if I'm not thinking summer vibes, I'll just be bitter. Uh-oh, I had a strong feeling it was going to make a big difference to use primer with this palette. I almost used my new Zodiac Love Signs. Absolutely love that palette, by the way. But then I was thinking about it and I'm like, oh, that palette's so good that it really doesn't need a primer. So I'd just be making the point that you don't need primer, whereas sometimes you do. Wet n Wild does make really good eyeshadows, but I feel when you're getting in that $5 price range, that's the price range where if you do use a primer, it will make a big difference. Sorry for the jump cut. My battery ran out. Yay, I need to buy a new one of those. That was actually really interesting though, because I feel like this side was a lot harder to blend and I feel like I used more product, but what's so fascinating is if you look at these two, which I really hope you could see on camera, the shimmer actually came out bolder on the side without the primer, and I think that's because this side, it was holding on so much to the initial products that I had put on, the initial eyeshadows that I put on, that they were still there when I went in with the shimmer. Obviously, this is easy to prevent. If I had gone in with another layer of shadow insurance after doing the crease work, then that would probably be bolder than the other side. Just kind of an interesting note that is something I'd never noticed before. We're moving on to face products, and I'm going to be using the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation in 33NL. I think this is the most expensive product I'm using on both sides. Wow, is it worth it though? Why is this so underrated? I think this is new, right? So first off, it's a foundation that comes in an olive shade. Are you kidding? But not only that, it's only $16. And it's got a clean ingredients list too. So if you're worried about things like silicones, it doesn't have silicones. This is pretty new to my collection. I've only worn it for 2 full days so far. So I don't want to give, too thorough of a review. But so far, I really like it. I did find that I built it up with 3 pumps, and I really didn't actually like the way it sat on my skin. I think this is a 2 pumps and done foundation. It's definitely, I get the feeling that it's made to be a more light, medium coverage and not, you know how when you build up some foundations to full coverage, they start getting cakey? That's what this one did to me. But I don't care because I do like medium coverage. I think it's an absolutely stunning medium coverage foundation. Light, medium. There's a difference. And then I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define also on both sides of my face. I don't use a ton of concealer. This is personal preference. I'll try to use a little more today. So then back to this side of my face, I'm going to be using the YSL Touche Eclat highlighting pen, or no, this isn't called a highlighting pen, but that's what it is, an under eye highlighter. Oh, maybe this is more my summer shade. We're still gonna work with it. Good, okay, it's still highlighted. Yeah, so I probably should have used this before foundation, but I'll just go back in with a little bit more. This is the Cover FX Correct Click in green. Of course, a green color corrector is to cover up redness. Do I have much redness? Yeah, we got some redness there. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. This is not necessarily my favorite. In fact, I've already said it's not, but it's $2, and it's not bad. Then I'm going to use the Catrice California in a Box palette. I absolutely love this palette. It's incredible. It's $14.99. I feel like it's a little pricey, depending on your perspective, but it's Catrice. It goes on sale. Okay, at this point, I'm basically convinced that I like primer because I feel like everything I do on the side with primer is easier. Now I'm going to be using the Hourglass Diffused Light. This retails for $46, but I will tell you, there is a redeeming quality to this, and that's that you basically buy one for life. That said, this is one of those products where some days I'm like, wow, that made such a huge difference. And other days I don't know if I'm just saying that to justify how much I spent on this thing. I think it's important to remember that when you're watching YouTubers. You know, I try so often to talk about bias. That's a real bias that people can have, is justifying their purchases. And we're also going to use the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Mist, which I think I have enough for half my face. This retails for $48. Alright, what do I have left in here? I have a surprisingly large amount in here. Why? Let's use this Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline Eye Pencil on this side of my face. This is $21 and it is supposed to brighten your eye. I don't even remember how much this next product is. Let me look at my notes. Alright. The Lancome Sills Booster Lash Primer is $26. Alright, so I typically swear by this type of product. A lot of people don't. I'll tell you my theory on this. I think that if you wear false lashes, you absolutely don't need this step. I think that if you prefer the look of natural lashes, you don't need this step. I think this is for people who are trying to get as close to false lashes without taking the time or energy or frustration of putting them on. Then on both sides, I'm going to use the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume, the purple tube. This is, of course, $5. I'm so out of order today. I really should have done eyeliner first. Probably messy right now, but I'm going to use this eyeliner. I feel like I'll probably have to go back over with the mascara due to doing this out of order. So anyway, this is the Renaissance Flick from Makeup Revolution. I actually really like this. It's $9. Really nice shape to hold. Really nice tip to get precise eyeliner. Okay, I fixed my mistake. I really gotta admit that I regret using such a wet mascara though, because immediately it went up into the highbrow that I had applied. I don't know if it's the combination of highbrow plus that, plus the primer, maybe it was too much, but I had to remove a ton of mascara from there. Next, I'm going to use the MAC Prep and Prime Lip on this half of my face. I really want to use it on both sides, but we're just going to do this. I don't really think this is necessary for lipstick, but I think it's a great lip balm. Could you buy one from Burt's Bees and do the same thing? Yeah, probably. And then for lipstick on both sides of my face, I'm going to, both sides of my face, just my lips, but all of them. I'm going to use the Flower Beauty, what is this called? The Petal Pout Lip Color. This is $7.99. And this is the shade Cinnamon. So this is the final look, and at this point, I feel like certain products did a lot more than others. For example, I don't feel like I really see a difference between the side where I used the Benefit Brow product, or the brow primer rather, but I'm still going to continue to use it because I like how it makes it easier to apply the brow product afterward. Whereas the difference that Becca's Backlight Primer made in everything is so in my face that I understand why I've used half the bottle. It's funny because that's a product in particular that I go back and forth on, and I'll show you why. So I've got you in uncomfortably close, you know the game, but you can really see just how much that backlight priming filter made a difference. It's shocking. It made that highlighter glow more than this side. It looks so much better, except it does highlight my pores a bit more. So there's that. I feel like I do see a difference in my under eyes too, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the YSL Touche Éclat or the Hourglass Diffused Light. But basically, it's like every product that I applied did actually make a difference, and I feel like the effect is pretty shockingly cumulative. I mean, even down to the MAC Prep and Prime Lip. Yeah, the side of my face with the primed lips does look smoother. I think the only thing that kind of backfired on me is that lash primer, solely because combining it with a wet mascara did not go well. I mean, you can see where my lashes hit my brow bone. That was a mess to clean up, you guys. Let's run back through everything, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on if I think it was worth it, because worth mentioning, I did buy everything you see in this particular video. Benefit's Bravo Conditioning Primer. I'm going to keep using it because I like how much easier it makes applying my brow products. I just kind of put my brows into place, and this holds them there long enough for me to have a better guideline for drawing on my brow products afterwards. So yeah, for me this is worth it. Does everybody need it? Probably not. You can probably skip this one, especially if you draw straighter lines than I do. Highbrow. I'm already going to repurchase it. It's on my list. I absolutely love this. I feel like it does make a difference. I feel like I kind of wiped it off at this point. I should reapply it. Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Lots of mixed feelings on the way things went with this, but you know, you don't need this particular primer. There's a lot of good options at the drugstore. I really like the P. Louis space. I've really gotten into that one lately. Becca Backlight Priming Filter probably made the biggest difference out of everything in this video. Maybe that's because your face is the largest part of your face? You get what I'm saying. You don't necessarily need this primer. There are plenty of really good drugstore dupes, and probably I will not repurchase this, but I will finish it. Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I do think that it blends my foundation together, my primer, my powder, but I don't think you need to spend $48 necessarily on this. It's nice. It's a nice product. Its best feature is its fine mist. The CoverFX Green Click Stick, I don't actually think I see a difference in that. Maybe that's because I don't have a ton of redness today. Lancome Sills Booster XL, no, I probably will not repurchase this, even though this is a recent repurchase. I bought this because I guess I kind of like burning my money sometimes for science. I wanted to see once and for all if this compares to the L'Oreal Voluminous, and I can't tell a difference. Again, I need to do a side-by-side directly, that's why I bought this, but I don't think I'll drop $26 again. Alright, so both the Hourglass Diffused Light and the YSL Touche Éclat, I feel like they made a difference, but I can't tell if it's the combination of them or individually. And I also can't tell if I'm justifying the costs here. I feel like I found a couple of close to dupes for the Hourglass. Anything from the Essence Banana Powder to the Catrice Filter in a Box. And then the MAC Prep and Prime Lip. I actually really like this product, but I don't think you need to buy it. I think you can use any kind of a lip balm and get the same effect. Alright guys, that's this video. Please comment your thoughts below. Do you think this is worth the extra $325 or not? And if you have any substitute products, drugstore products that you love that are less expensive than these, please comment them. We're always looking for dupes in the makeup world. I think that even if you really enjoy a product that you purchased at a luxurious price tag, I think that, at least for me personally, sometimes repurchasing it can get kind of painful. Like, you don't get the same amount of excitement as before. It's more of, oh, I need to do this. But maybe that's just me. Leave me your thoughts below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a like, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.